Hey everyone, welcome back to the AstoundCast, and I'm pretty damn sure, unless I'm mistaken, this is episode 80.
It is indeed, good sir. I was just drawing on the photoshopped looking 80
Hey.
onto the picture. So today.
Oh. So, how has your week been?
Our week hasn't been too bad actually. Got research done, got went did like an online event for like women in gaming, and then Friday's video recording session was brilliant.
Yep, that was amazing.
And yeah,
Yeah, it was
apart
really
from that,
fun.
not too bad. How was your week?
Um, well, busy and snowy.
Yeah, you got snow.
Yeah, and we're getting some tomorrow and Tuesday as well.
Seriously.
Yep, kid you not. But yeah, this week, what have I done? I have finally been put on to do the Microsoft Excel exam. Yes, by this time next week, it will be done.
How long does it take for you to actually get that exam done?
I have no idea. Um, anyway, as well, we have of course, I've had a butt ton of snow up here. I also went bowling on Wednesday evening with a couple of friends. Um, Also, nearly finished Halo 3 ODST in one sitting.
Good on you.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm just going to quickly do a quick rundown of Halo 2 and ODST because, well, I haven't actually talked about it since I finished Combat Evolved, which feels like forever ago, to be honest. So,
Sure.
and to be fair, Halo 3 ODST does take place during Halo 2. So that's worked out pretty well.
Close enough.
Yeah. Well, the start of Halo 2, um, poop hits the fan because the Covenant finally decide enough is enough and decide to invade the Earth.
Ah.
However, they make one catastrophic error. They didn't realize that Earth was the home planet of humanity.
Oh, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, they sent a fleet to Earth that was 50 times smaller than the one they sent to Reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent a fleet 50 times smaller than the one they sent to Reach to invade Earth. Covenant, your intel is a little bit off on that one.
Oh yeah.
So the Master Chief does Master Chief things. Doesn't quite repel the invading force, but does gain an ally in Halo 3 ODST, but the ally does start to become an ally in Halo 2, and that is the Arbiter, who is actually a Covenant soldier who is given a formerly very honourable role, but is now a role of disgrace due to a former Arbiter betraying the Covenant, because the Arbiter was actually a part of the fleet that invaded Reach and failed miserably. But then in Halo 3, oh no, yeah, I've even actually started Halo 3 itself now. But yeah, I've got to say, Halo 2 is a really good game. You do start out on Earth, and then you actually head to another Halo ring. Yep, I believe there's 7 or 8 of them, and you're now on the second. But Halo 3 ODST takes place during Halo 2, as I said, and it actually happens during one of the first missions. When Master Chief is on Earth in Halo 2, a squad of ODSTs launches down to the planet, and in Halo 3 ODST, you play as that squad.
Oh.
Which I think is really cool. And another really cool thing, the boss of the group is, Nathan Fillion.
Ah.
Yeah, that absolute legend from Firefly. So that's honestly really cool. And I've got to say, ODST reminded me so much of Halo Reach
Mhm.
because it didn't involve Master Chief at all. It was a small squad of 6 troops, and what do you know? So was Reach. But there was one key Mahusive difference between the two.
Mhm.
They all survived.
Ah. That,
Yep.
that's always surviving is a good thing, right?
Yeah. Unlike in Halo Reach, where I had heartbreak after heartbreak in the final 4 missions, no, the entire squad survived. However, a mega city in Africa, well, didn't at all.
Oh.
Because you landed in this mega city called New Mombasa. It's huge. And by the end of the game, it's it's all on fire. Like very, very on fire. Yeah.
Ah, that doesn't sound too good.
No, it isn't. But yeah, I've actually started Halo 3 already, and gotta say it's pretty fun so far. But I'll talk about that next week when I finished it. Anyway, I've got a very quick
Right.
voice message, probably from Gabby. Yep.
Yay.
Woo!
We had 5 to 10 inches of snow here in South Wales, Cam and my auditor. Just to let you know, my phone got hacked into this week, and I caught the person who did it. And it was a 15-year-old girl in London, of all people, fishing for information. Hope she gets jail time.
Oh, blimey.
Gee.
Oh, God, that isn't good. I'm glad you've got it sorted now. Oh,
Jesus Christ, though.
yeah. Oh, geez. Right, got another one from him.
Just to let you know, Cam, do you know that Halo, the TV series, is being considered for a second series? Did you know that?
Yes.
Also, Assassin's Creed, the TV series, is looking promising on Netflix. I wonder how much Ubisoft are getting out of that. Because the Assassin's Creed movie was a total and utter failure. Also, there's going to be a Hitman third movie coming out with Timothy Olyphant coming back as 47. Finally. The last one was a joke.
Finally.
And there's also talk of a Hitman TV series.
Oh.
I wonder who's going to play 47 in that. Or is it going to be CGI? Have you managed to see Edge Runners yet, Cam, or my auditor? And you know who you remind me of, my auditor? There's a girl on Instagram called Pooks. That's who you remind me of. This is the former Laird Regent, Gabriel Sinclair, blah, 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 out.
I am so happy to hear about the Halo series potentially getting renewed. Still haven't started season 1. I think even though it is a prequel, I am gonna wait until the end of the game series to go into that. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I'm now at the halfway point. Yes.
You've still got until April 15th.
Oh, and I think I'm gonna hit that target. I'm confident. I am very confident. I do think I can actually hit that target. But yeah, I am curious about the Assassin's Creed series as well. Pardon me, as well as the Hitman series and film. That could be fun. But yeah, lots of cool gaming stuff from this week. As you know, Super Mario movie trailer came out, which I love. It's so good.
It was
Yeah.
a lot more comical expecting for it.
And I'm very glad that they focused a bit more on the Mario Kart aspect this time.
Yeah.
That's always a win. Oh,
Are you guys looking forward to the new Resident Evil 4? Or the new Far Cry game?
Yes.
Or the
Those ones.
Assassin's Creed Mirage?
Yes.
Answers to an envelope. To the Laird Regent at such and such address, such and such, such and such, such and such, blah 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 blah, postcode blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. Those are three series that I haven't touched, so I'm gonna have to go into them at some point. Anyway, the Mario Kart mention frankly gave me a bit of a stunning segue into this week's motorsport section.
Clever, clever.
I am very happy with how well that panned out. Anyway, motorsport section. Not too much else has happened at the moment. Of course, F1 is still on its hiatus until next weekend. But in the time since my F1 video and this, Max Verstappen has come out and said that he does think that despite his 12-second lead in Bahrain, that Saudi Arabia in next week is going to be a much closer race, which I will definitely accept because, well, Max Verstappen was at a 30-second lead, as we know, until his pit stop, which did knock him down to 12, but yeah, that Red Bull, I have to agree with George Russell, is low-key looking incredibly unbeatable.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it does look near enough bulletproof. Unless Aston Martin can come out and pull some major upgrades, because Fernando Alonso has also come out and said that, remember, this is the base car. This is just the baseline of what we have to work with. As soon as we start getting upgrades in, that's where the fun begins.
Mm.
And I do think Fernando Alonso really means that. Like, that man's been in F1 genuinely longer than I've been alive, and frankly, that makes me feel really, really, really damn old.
You're not in your prime yet.
Hmm?
You're not past your prime yet, don't worry.
Nah. Saying that, neither's he somehow. And he's 41. But yeah, he's been around a fair few teams. He knows what he's talking about at this point, so I am looking forward to seeing an Aston Martin Red Bull Championship fight. Those words still don't sound right. They really don't.
It sounds a little off, yeah.
Yeah. I've also got some other major news. Jenson Button, as well as driving the Garage 56 car at Le Mans, will actually be taking part in the NASCAR Cup Series in 3 different races. And he is actually going to be racing alongside Kimi Raikkonen at Circuit of the Americas, the site of Kimi Raikkonen's last Formula One win.
Oh, that's actually quite interesting.
Yeah. So Kimi Raikkonen's only doing Circuit of the Americas, but Jenson is doing 3. Now, admittedly, I don't remember the other 2, but he is going to be at Circuit of the Americas, which I think is incredibly soon. Also, kind of hopping back here a moment, guess who's getting a PS5 next month?
Oh, come on, you lucky bugger!
Yeah, it looks as if the PS4 is, yeah.
It went kaput.
It doesn't seem likely that it's going to work.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, I'll get the funeral prepared for it. You just make sure you get like a small box. A small, nice
Yeah.
box. Bury it.
Well, not that small, but yeah. It is quite a big one.
Small enough. On a completely separate note, I'm now watching like through part of a window through to my neighbor's house. I think the one of the children in there is finally playing Minecraft on the big screen.
Nice.
To be fair, they played games that I just didn't recognize. I'm just like, what is the game? I know what it is, but I just can't recognize it from like a quarter of a TV. But I can recognize Minecraft from a quarter of a TV.
Oh my god.
They're currently in a cave.
That is amazing. Also, I've got some other, well, rather a funny NASCAR bit of news. Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Well, on Friday, ready for practice at Phoenix in Arizona. Some of the oh my god, some of the NASCAR drivers on the way to the track from the garages kind of got lost.
How'd they get lost?
I don't know, but I do know that the garages in NASCAR are quite far away from the tracks in comparison to F1. Well, the garages are literally right on the pit lane, but with NASCAR they're a bit further back. So they some of the drivers got lost on the way to the track.
Oh. That's not good.
Yeah, funny as hell, but no, not good. Like, they were driving around like headless chickens trying to find the track. It was really funny. Hang on, I think NASCAR posted it on Instagram. Give me a second.
Did they now?
I think so. Where is it? 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 Give me a minute. I will find it if it kills me.
You've got all the minutes. I'm just watching the
Found it.
across the street just playing Minecraft.
Found it.
It's fine.
Well, oh no, I haven't found the exact. Oh no, come on. What is it?
I think they're in like a building they made either that or they're in like one of the Pillager
Okay.
towers. Because they got to most of them dying at least. Oh, they're back in their house. I'm just giving you commentary of just like a quarter of a screen.
Oh.
I don't know if they're on Xbox or PlayStation though. I can't tell.
God knows.
Because it's not PC. I know for a fact it's not PC.
No.
It could be on Switch, maybe. You just keep searching this. I'm just gonna give a really bad commentary of a quarter of a Minecraft screen. Because they currently, I think they have a name tag in their hand.
Huh. Also, I have just discovered that.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't actually a video of them getting lost. Well, there is a couple of seconds of it, but it turns out they were directed in the wrong direction.
Oh god, it's like one direction, but it's the wrong direction.
Yes, they got sent the wrong way.
Give me a second. I've got the link. I'm looking at it now. The child can go without looking at the Minecraft screen for a while. Actually, that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah. I couldn't quite believe what I saw there. I was thinking,
yeah,
how did they get lost?
It's a very confusing thing, a road, don't you know? Going one way doesn't automatically mean you just go one way.
However, they're racing drivers. Driving is their whole thing.
Look, like people get lost in space. Totally the same.
That's a bit trickier. Space has no roads.
No roads as far as you know.
I can't argue with that.
They could have made roads by the time that you come back and look at them.
Okay. I genuinely can't argue with that.
I'm just talking out my ass. Ignore me.
So yeah, that's kind of this week's motorsports section. Some very interesting stuff has gone on, including NASCAR drivers getting lost on the way to a track. I will never get over that.
Yeah.
Now onto this week's entertainment section. Well, I forgot something yesterday in NASCAR news.
What did you forget?
Just 3 posters for Transformers Rise of the Beasts have been revealed.
Ooh.
Whoops. Giant up-close character posters of Optimus Prime, which looks amazing, Mirage, and Optimus Primal, which all look incredible. But there has been something noted by a lot of fans. For the last few trailers and TV spots, Wheeljack has been missing completely. Now, it's no secret that the fandom isn't particularly pleased with Wheeljack's design in this film, considering what it was back in Bumblebee. So there's now two theories flying around as to why he isn't around at the moment. He is either one, being completely redesigned, or two, he is being cut from the film.
Ooh.
Both of which would be interesting, to say the least. Would it delay the film? Hopefully not, but potentially. So, gonna have to wait and see on that front, but I just thought I'd mention that real quick because, yeah, he hasn't been seen for a little while, and a lot of fans are starting to question why that is.
Oh.
Yeah, just thought I'd mention that one because I'll admit I've gotten a bit curious about that myself. Also, I forgot something else Transformers related. Oh my god. I've just remembered this. I've just remembered this right now. Earlier this week, the Transformers Studio-series toy line, which is like halfway between the standard retail toy lines and the Masterpiece Collector's editions, has started doing video game characters from the old High Moon Studios games. And they have started with War for Cybertron, and they have started with War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Barricade. Totally haven't already pre-ordered Optimus Prime and Bumblebee.
Totally not.
Totally didn't do that as soon as I saw them and cried. And yes, I will admit that proudly because, oh my god, I loved War for Cybertron, loved its sequel. Yes. Childhood games. Genuinely. Gotta say, wasn't a big fan of the final High Moon Studios game, Devastation. They had the perfect formula gameplay-wise, but in Devastation they decided to scrap it completely.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. The main gripe I have with it was the fact that you had to hold down the left stick to stay transformed.
Ah.
Like in War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, you just clicked the left stick and you stayed transformed until you clicked it again. But in Devastation, you had to keep holding it down. If you let go for even a millisecond, you'd pop back into robot mode. Which was immensely frustrating. It was very, very, very frustrating. I can't lie.
Yeah, sounds it.
Yeah. Especially in missions where speed was required. Because the difference between vehicle mode speed and robot speed was quite vast, to say the least. So yeah, a lot of people like the game, but it personally was not my cup of tea at all because of mainly that. And the fact that the missions were like really, really, really long. It was...
Yeah, that can put someone off.
Yeah. It wasn't the best, to be honest. But yeah, I've got to admit, I am hoping they do the toys from that game because they use the G1 designs, and you know I am a sucker for those. So, I'll admit, I would buy the toys from that game if they made them. But yeah, I just can't wait for these two to arrive. Haven't ordered Barricade because, well, I was never that big of a fan of his design anyway in the game. It was just, and his colour scheme was a bit bland as well. It was purple and black. So, nothing particularly special, really. But I may get some more if they do others. I really, really hope they do. But yeah, that's kind of all the Transformers news, because I kind of forgot about it all. Whoops!
How did you forget that? That's like your most known topic.
I know, but it's been a busy week.
Yeah, fair point. With all being snowed in and all that.
Yeah, and all the other news coming out as well.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
Yeah. It's a miracle I remembered as much as I did, to be fair.
Yeah, well, true.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's a miracle I remembered anything.
It's a miracle you actually have a memory. Sorry.
Yeah, that is true. That is fully true.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week's entertainment section has been quite thin because, well, everything else that's happened I've kind of already talked about. Of course, the Super Mario Brothers movie trailer came out, looks brilliant. Have there been any other trailers that have come out that have slipped under my radar?
Nothing I can remember.
Yeah, I don't remember much. I don't remember anything else either. Anyway, is there anything you'd wish to talk about this week?
It's a really good question. The only thing I still think of is the video we did for Saturday, which is still raining in my mind.
Yeah, that that video was an absolute gold mine.
And we still got more to play.
Yeah, way more. Well, not way more is probably a bit of an exaggeration. I mean, considering we got through 3 missions in episode 1, I think we could probably finish it in like 3 episodes.
We could. We still need to find out what all 11 herbs and spices are in order to make our own chicken.
Yep. I don't think we ever will, though, which is extremely annoying.
One day.
If only we could, like, hack the redacteds out.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But no, in our luck, we'd do that and we'd find nothing.
Yeah. True. Although somebody's probably leaked it online at some point anyway.
Yeah. Although, how do we know it's the real one?
Good question.
Yeah. Oh, also, I do just want to very, very quickly talk about Star Trek Picard.
Yeah.
Because this episode, it had me in floods. I can't lie.
Ooh, how so? How so?
It was just a really emotional episode in a lot of ways. Well, at the end of the 3rd episode, Picard kind of inadvertently doomed the crew of the USS Titan.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because Captain Vadek, the main villain of the show, basically she has a giant portal gun strapped to her ship.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm talking that portal gun. A couple of times, the Titan tried to warp away. Then she'd open a portal, and the Titan would end up back where it started. And then, in the end, Picard basically said to Riker, fire torpedoes at her.
Whoa.
That didn't go very well either.
How badly?
Well, she used the portal weapon again. The torpedoes flew through the portal, and then went straight back to the Titan.
Oh.
Yep. Knocking it out and basically sending it adrift to the center of a gravity well, which would basically crush the ship like a tin can.
Ah.
At which point, something quite shocking happened.
What happened?
Riker kicked Picard off the bridge.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one had me a bit... I was a bit shocked. But then in this episode, Riker did very quickly reconcile with Picard, saying, yeah, I gotta admit, Jean-Luc, my plan wasn't doing too much either. And I've got to be honest, I said that almost immediately. I said to myself, yeah, and your plan was working so well. And then he said to Jean-Luc, yeah, there was nothing really anybody could do. So yeah. So go say goodbye to Beverly, because, by the way, Dr. Crusher's on board. Along with Picard's son.
Oh.
Yeah, it would appear at some point Beverly and Picard had a kid.
When did they have time to have a child?
I don't know. Some point after Star Trek Nemesis, by the sounds of it.
Damn.
Also, very little apology, but sorry about the spoilers. I just really need to get this episode off my chest.
No, it's fine. This is therapy session. You can get all the spoilers that you need off.
But in the end, yeah, in the end, the Titan was drifting towards this gravity well, and then the crew of the Titan were in an absolute blind panic.
Yeah.
And eventually, Jean-Luc did try to speak to his son for, like, basically the first time, and takes him to the holodeck, which, by the way, even in a crisis situation, still work.
Oh.
The reason being is that so the crew can kind of take their minds off their impending death.
You know, like a cruise do.
Yeah. So Picard loads up the holodeck simulation of the 10 forward bar from San Francisco, and then sits down with Jack to have a drink. Yeah, by the way, his son is called Jack Crusher, like Beverly's first husband. Yeah. And then Picard tells Jack some stories about him and his namesake, and then Captain Shaw walks in. And we all know how much I love that guy. And then we find out why he doesn't really like Seven and Picard. Well, turns out Captain Shaw was at the Battle of Wolf 359. You know, when Picard became a Borg and destroyed 40 Federation starships, killed 11,000 Starfleet officers.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Captain Shaw was there. He was one of the survivors, so he very much has a grudge against the Borg and Picard. And basically, he goes off on Picard big time, right in front of his son, who doesn't take too kindly to it.
Oh dear.
No. Like, while he hasn't really met his dad until now, he very much recognizes that he is his dad. And he's like, yeah, whoa, slow your roll there, Captain.
Yeah.
First of all, you're speaking to an admiral and my dad at the same time, so yeah. And then Picard basically says, no, Jack, it's okay. I very much understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And then he walks off, And it turns out, oh yeah, by the way, there's a changeling on board.
Oh.
Yeah, like the DS9 changelings, and oh my god, waterworks alert. Captain Shaw
Oh.
actually decided to be helpful at some point during the episode,
Oh.
which frankly gave me a heart attack. And said, and actually spoke to Seven because she was trying to hunt down this changeling. He said, "Go
Yeah.
and find their pots, which they will rest in their goo form." And he
In the
actually shows, us Odo's
Ooh.
with a picture of Odo right next to it. And of course, with Rene Auberjonois, who played Odo, now being dead, that was a massive tearjerker for a lot of Trekkies.
Yeah.
Myself included. And eventually Seven does go to find this pot, and then, unfortunately, the changeling finds her along the way.
Yeah.
It turns out he has possessed taken on the form of a Vulcan crew member, and then disappears into the vents. And then towards the end of the episode, where Picard, Riker, and Beverly come up with a crazy plan to escape the gravity well, does actually possess Geordie LaForge's daughter, who is also a crew member of the Titan. And in the end, Seven does manage to kill her. Well, kill the changeling. Geordie's daughter's absolutely fine. She is on the bridge.
Yeah.
But the plan to escape the gravity well, it's been something that's been occurring throughout the episode. There has been energy waves coming from the center of the gravity well, and Beverly, being a doctor, decided to time them.
Oh.
And she noticed something eventually. The gaps between the energy waves were decreasing.
Oh.
She then had a bit of a eureka moment. That's kind of similar to contractions.
Oh.
Yep. And in the end, they have an idea. We open up the nacelles to let a load of radiation in. We can use that radiation to power up the warp drive and warp out of here, riding one of the energy waves.
Ooh.
Eventually it works. And Beverly's hunch was correct. They were contractions. Do you remember that episode of The Next Generation with the with the space jellyfish?
Yeah.
It was them.
Yeah,
again. It was them again. Yep. They came back. Another very emotional moment. Picard nearly teared up. Because of course he hadn't seen them since the Enterprise D. And honestly, it was really cool to see those guys again. Like, I wasn't expecting that at all. But at the end of the episode, Picard and co. had escaped the gravity well, which did kind of end the first story arc of the show. So, going into this week's episode, everything's a bit up in the air.
Seems like it.
Like, in itself, it seemed like a season finale, even though it was only episode 4 of 10.
Oh, wow.
Yep. They've still got a few to go. And half of the Next Generation crew to reintroduce. Like,
yeah.
So far we've got Picard, Riker, Beverly, and Worf. Although Worf isn't back with all the others yet. He is still with Raffi on Metalis Prime, which is actually named after the showrunner, Terry Metalis.
Oh.
Yeah. But we're still waiting on... Well, Deanna was semi-introduced in this episode. over a video call with Riker. Geordi is still totally MIA, but I'm sure that will change very soon. With, his daughter being in mortal danger, thanks to Picard.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine Geordi's going to be too happy when he shows up.
Don't believe so, no.
No, that's going to be an interesting one. And we do have a couple of surprises along coming. And Terry Matalas has also said that there is another character in this season that no one knows about yet.
Okay.
And he's confirmed it's a returning character. So, frankly, I have two guesses as to that. One, Wesley makes his return again. Or
Yeah.
somehow, I don't know how this would happen, but somehow Data returns.
Data could return.
Even though I'm not so sure, because at the end of season 1 of Picard, his memory engrams were permanently shut down.
Yeah, but while they might be permanently shut down, doesn't mean that there wasn't an extra copy made.
Fair. And his memories could be uploaded into lore.
It could.
Okay, so it could be either Wesley or Data. That's my opinions. And then he throws a Captain Sisko at us, please. Terry. If you're listening, please, for the love of God, bring back Captain Benjamin Lafayette Sisko. Please.
If you ever listen to this podcast, then please, it'll make him happy.
Like, you done... Well, he already referenced him in season 2. Well,
yeah,
technically. But yeah, if he's planning a Sisko, please do it. Like, I'm genuinely really loving this season of Picard so far. And I was watching the credits of episode 4 yesterday, and you know how you have the main credits after the first credits, like you have the massive lists of people. The Next Generation font was used on it.
Oh.
Yep. They've actually brought that back, which I was not expecting at all. And I've got to say, that was a really fun touch as well. But yeah, so far, Star Trek Picard Season 3 is getting a very, very solid 10 out of 10.
Ooh.
Like, I genuinely can't wait for the rest of the season, and I really want to know who that species is that's with Vadic. Because, oh my god, they are the spitting image of the Sycorax from Doctor Who.
Oh.
I know it isn't them. I know for a fact it isn't. Unless it is. But they just look so much like the Sycorax, it's insane. And I swear to God, if they do confirm it is a Sycorax, I will literally die.
Don't literally die if they do.
No, but you will hear a scream so loud that you will be able to hear it from Brighton.
Oh, God.
Kid you not, because Sycorax in Star Trek, yes.
Oh.
But yeah, I just really want to know who they are, because their name has not been revealed at all, which has me very, very curious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far, Season 2 is getting a massive tick... No, sorry, Season 3 is getting a massive tick in my book. It's... Don't get me wrong, Seasons 1 and 2 were brilliant, but Season 3 really feels like a love letter to the Next Generation. It's almost like a final goodbye for them, even though it might not be. Because recently they have started to talk about another Next Generation film. which would just be brilliant.
Ooh.
Like, imagine after all this time, we've been wondering when's the next Kelvin timeline film going to be coming out for Star Trek 14. No. It's a Next Generation film. After all this time. That would be nuts. Like,
It
and
would be.
I also love that. But I've also been hearing rumours lately that at some point during this season, we're actually going to be going back to the bridge of the Enterprise D.
Yeah.
Which would probably make me cry again. I will say, a lot of TV shows and films lately are really knowing how to pull my heartstrings.
Aww.
Like, they're all doing a really good job. But, yeah, Star Trek Picard so far is just phenomenal. I'm loving every minute of it. I am genuinely... Whenever I realise that it's Friday, the first thing I do before I even have breakfast is hop onto Paramount Plus.
Ah.
Yeah, that is the first thing I do on a Friday morning.
Oh, that's a good to know, actually.
Yeah.
I know what you do on Friday morning now.
Hmm?
I know what you do on a Friday morning.
Yep, you do indeed. But there is something that I'm really hoping for in this season. Don't know if it's going to happen, but in the outro sequence of the episodes, we've been seeing graphics of the Starfleet Museum.
Ooh.
With a ton of old ships on. I mentioned this in my episode 1 thoughts, but I want to just touch on it again because I really want to see a couple of them. For example, the original Excelsior from Star Trek 3 and Star Trek 6 is there, apparently. Along with the Enterprise A.
Ooh.
Which hasn't been touched since Captain Kirk.
Damn.
Like, we know they're sitting outside Earth space dock, so I just really want to see them at some point during this season. And I've got a feeling we'll probably see them alongside the Enterprise F on what's it called? Oh god, what is it? It's this massive thing that they're building up to in the season. It's not Federation Day. It's basically the anniversary of Starfleet.
Oh yeah.
And actually, it's the 250th anniversary of Starfleet.
Oh.
Yep, it's a big one. And apparently, this the Enterprise F is going to be taking its final flight. Now that does present some problems for Star Trek Online. Basically, if this is the end of the Enterprise F, it breaks the Star Trek Online timeline completely.
Oh.
Because it doesn't show up in that game until 2410, a whole 9 years later.
Ah.
Yeah, I really hope that they decide to not do that. I hope the Federation just decides, okay, the Enterprise G is nowhere near ready. Let's keep the Enterprise F around a little bit longer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which inevitably would probably springboard the Star Trek Online events into action. Which I think would be really cool. Like, because we know in 2405, only a couple of years after Star Trek Online, a Klingon War / Federation War occurs again. So maybe the end of Picard could maybe reference that tensions are starting to rise again between the Federation and the Klingons.
Yeah.
That would be really cool, and I do think that would be kind of confirmation that, yeah, Star Trek Online's safe, don't worry.
Yeah, that'd be like a nice bit of closure, if that were the case.
Yeah, because at the moment, with the Enterprise F being supposedly retired after this massive event, that would completely destroy the Star Trek Online timeline, which would ultimately destroy me.
Yeah. Oh.
But hopefully, they manage to turn it around and keep the Enterprise F around for a few more years. I hope.
Hope so.
Yeah. Oh well, only 6 more weeks to find out, because I've got a very strange feeling it's going to be a final episode kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like something they'd do in the final episode. They'd, like, draw it out for as long as they can, and then at the very end say, oh yeah, by the way, we're not retiring the Enterprise F, we're going to keep her around a bit longer, and by the way, Klingons aren't particularly liking us right now.
Ah.
Which would probably give Worf the heebie-jeebies ever so slightly.
Oh dear.
Like, just imagine a Klingon with a bunch of Starfleet officers. Yep, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little bit of Star Trek Picard talk, because genuinely love this show, and by the way, still no sign of the Strange New World Season 1 soundtrack. Still nothing.
Oh dear.
Nope, that is not good. I am really beginning to
It's
wonder,
not...
did somebody forget to click upload?
Send them an email about it or something, and then just update us.
Yeah, I might do. Hell, if need be, I'll tweet the showrunner, because I don't think it is Terry Matalas. I think he is just Picard, because I know at the moment they've got, like, separate showrunners for each show to, give them all a different feel.
Yeah.
So I'll just find out who the showrunner is for Strange New Worlds and say, hey, problem, no season 1 soundtrack. So season 1 soundtrack when?
Hey, problem fixed. Like now, fixed.
Yeah, please. Your season 2 is coming out in a couple of months, so you may want to get on that. It's like,
Yeah.
I just really don't know what's going on there. They, like, all the Star Trek Discovery soundtracks have been released a couple of weeks after the seasons have finished, so I don't know what's going on. And actually, speaking of Strange New Worlds, we have no release date for season 2 either, still.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting it's going to be taking a summer release like season 1 did. So there's going to, if I'm correct, there's going to be about a month or so gap between Star Trek Picard and Strange New Worlds, if not more. But yeah, I just don't know what's really going on with the season 1 soundtrack and just why it hasn't been released.
Yeah.
Because believe me, I've checked everything. I've checked Spotify, I've checked iTunes, I've checked YouTube. Nothing.
You've checked everything that you could, and it still hasn't shown.
Yep, correct.
Well done.
So,
Somebody fired.
If no one's uploaded it, I will genuinely wet myself, because that is just too funny to think about. Like, just imagine, oh, what's this? Strange New World soundtrack not uploaded? Oh, no.
Now, tweet them now. Like, tweet them after the stream, and then give
Yeah,
us an update. We'll have to get back to you.
yeah, because this is kind of worrying, to be honest. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about this week before we start to wrap this one up?
Not really. I can't think of anything.
Right, let me check that I've wanted to talk about. That I've talked about everything I want to talk about. No.
You just have like an itinerary up on like an Excel sheet ready.
No, more just in my head. I'm just literally running through it right now. Nope.
Nope.
That is everything for this week. So let's get this one wrapped up. So, thank you all for joining us this week on the 80th episode of the AstoundCast. If you've been watching here on stereo, first of all, thank you. And secondly, please follow me at AstoundCameron and Roxo. Or if you've been watching on YouTube after the fact, thanks for sticking around for the last hour or so. Please subscribe to my channel, AstoundCameron. The sub button will be just below the video title, and if you click the video title itself, you'll head into the description, at which point you're going to see my link tree, which contains my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, stereo, and TikTok. And if you go below the link tree, you're going to see Roxanne's YouTube, Mianette, and her website. And that's going to do it for this week's stream, unless we have a fun fact.
Mice actually don't like cheese.
Wait, what?
Like, stereotype is that all mice love cheese.
Yeah.
And all cats like tuna. So the cat part's true. The mice part isn't so much. They prefer more grains and man-made foods that are more high in sugar rather than like cheese. So they tend to turn their nose up at smelly foods. A 2006 study also showed that more mice actually avoided the cheese and dairy products rather than went for it.
Well then, on that,
It's gonna
absolutely
be mice that like cheese, but it's gonna be mice that like cheese, but apparently not all of them do.
Oh, okay. On that completely earth-shattering fact, I'll see you all tomorrow with another YouTube video, and next weekend, I will not see you next weekend with another stream, because next week's F1 race is going to clash with the AstoundCast.
Oh yeah, I get the day off.
So, next weekend won't be an AstoundCast, but there will be an F1 race stream. But keep an eye out for the AstoundCast substitute on the following Monday. So, on that note, bye everyone!
Bye!